with your just your body and have available a bolster and a block for later. Okay, so start standing with our feet comfortably under our hips, toes pointed forward, and just begin by taking your shoulders forward, up, back, and down a couple of times. So just nice big shoulder rolls, really involving our upper back as well. Moving our upper back as we roll our shoulders. Good. And then next time they go down, you can just leave them down and relax them. Then using our feet, we're going to try to grab the ground and we'll pick it up. So really spread your feet out and then grab with your toes, with your feet, and pull up. And then spread the feet back out and then grab and pull up. And spread them out. So really try to spread them as much as you can and then really grab as much as you can with your feet. So whether you're on a carpet or on a mat, try to lift it. Great. And then relax your feet. Let your body shift forward a little bit, inhaling as we lift our heels up, exhaling back down, taking a few deep breaths. Today we're going to do something a little different. Inhale up and exhale down. Something kind of creative and different. So I'd love feedback if you're interested in giving me any feedback after class. Good. One more time. Nice deep breath. Lift up. Good. And exhale down. And the thing that's so different about it is it's going to be based on the infinity symbol. So take your arms in front of you, and you're going to start to draw a sideways horizontal infinity sign, right? Or figure 8. So just let your arms flow and just let your body kind of move with it, right? So whole body kind of movement, right? Just almost like Tai Chi. And now try closing your eyes if you can and doing it, just so that we can get into our body more and feel what it feels like to make this movement, right? And you might make it as big as you feel like making it. And then when you come back to the center of your infinity sign, you're going to reverse it. So go the other direction, right? Just go the other way, right? Same thing. Close your eyes if you can, just to let yourself feel the movement. You can widen your feet, you can make it bigger. Feel the flowing movement. And then when we come back to the center of our figure 8, we're going to go horizontal, right? So take your circle up and around, and then down, and bend your knees, and then come up and around and lift and bend your knees. So again, let your body move with the arms. And then when you come to the center, go ahead and reverse. Take your circle the other way on top and the other way on the bottom. Notice if one way feels easier than the other, if there's any difference to you, right? Especially if you are closing your eyes, if you're able to. It might be a little difficult when you're bending your knees going down. Good. Feel that whole body moving with it. All right. And then when you stand up on the next one, just go ahead and let your arms open out and float down. All right. And then we're going to come to the end of our mat or wherever you want to be. And as we always do, we're going to roll down. So just inhale, exhaling, let our shoulders, arms, head relax, roll down and hang. Just letting our knees do a little bend and straighten. Okay, just relaxing everything. Letting the knees be as bent as they need to. We're going to stack our spine up tucking the pelvis under. And then when we come all the way up, we're going to roll back down. Inhale, exhale down again. Hang here. And just take your, let your arms be relaxed, but just make a sideways infinity sign or figure 8 with arms, and just kind of let your whole body go over to one side, around and go to the other side. Maybe your hands are on the ground. You can let your knees bend. Relax your upper body. And then we'll go the other direction. So just reverse your circles or your infinity symbol. Coming to center. Hopefully that didn't make anybody dizzy. And we'll walk our hands away from our feet, spreading our fingers wide, lifting our tailbone. Stretching the heels down. Your body move a little bit if it wants to kind of shift side to side. Relax the head and neck. And then we're just going to step our hands slightly farther ahead of us, not too much, maybe an inch or two. And we'll do something a little different here. You're just going to bend your knees and hover off the mat and then press back up into your pike. And stretch. And then lower the knees to hover and press back up. Lift that tailbone and lower the knees to hover and lift back up. And this time we'll lower the knees to hover and then go all the way down to the mat and around to sitting. And bring yourself onto your back, not with the bolster yet, but just onto your back. And relaxing, feet close to our sits bones. Just rest your hands on the front of your hip bone, right? The little ASIS it's called there. So we're going to do a little pelvic movement here. So as we inhale, letting our tailbone tilt down a little bit, a little arch. And then as we exhale, tilt the tailbone up. And so we'll just go back and forth a couple breaths in this pelvic tilt, right? Letting your back relax. Inhale, arch. And exhale, curl. Inhale, arch. And exhale, curl. And then relax in neutral. And you're just going to lift your hips 1 inch off the ground. So really tiny bit off the ground. And now tilt your left hip straight up. And then bring your hips back. And then tilt your right hip straight up. So now we're moving in this plane, right? So straight up toward the ceiling and then back. The reason we have our hips off the ground a little bit is to make the movement easier, right? So we can go up and down, side to side. And then when you come to neutral, go ahead and relax your hips back onto the ground. And now we're going to move in a different direction. So you're going to inhale. As you exhale, slide your right hip towards your right foot, and your left hip will slide up towards your left rib cage and bring them back. And then slide your left hip a little bit down towards your left foot, right hip up towards your rib cage and back. So we're moving in on this plane. Make sure you're in neutral with the spine. You're not curling your back or arching your back. And just slide the pelvis up and down. Okay. And then we'll put it together. So coming to neutral, basically we'll just make a bowl. So let your tailbone curl to tilt down, and then take your hips over to the left and curl the tailbone up and the hips to the right. So think of your hands are on your hips. You can really feel that movement. You can think of a bowl on your belly. You have a marble in it, and you're making the marble go around. You're just pressing a circle into the mat with your sacrum. Legs don't move, or not too much anyway. And then reverse your circle. So make your bowl go the other direction. We do this once in a while in class, and like I always say, it's really good for your low back. So if you ever have low back issues, this is a really good thing to do, right? All right, and then we'll relax into neutral and let your arms be by your side. Inhale. As we exhale, curl the tailbone up and peel off the mat all the way into a bridge. Good. Adjusting feet, relaxing shoulders. Inhale at the top as you press up. Exhale, melt the spine down. Hips come down last. And then relax at the bottom and inhale. Exhale up again. And as we bridge up, we're going to take our right arm over our head and lay it on the ground. Press your right hip up. Reach through that right knee. And then exhale down. Okay, so feel like you're really getting a stretch in the front of your right hip. And then the arm's going to come back down by our side. We inhale in the center, exhale up again. And our left arm is going to go over our head, lay on the ground. Press that left hip up. Feel like you're reaching through your knee. And exhale down, one vertebra at a time. And as your hips come down, bringing our left arm back down. Inhale, center, and exhale up the center. And then bring both arms over our head and relax them on the ground. And we're going to press our hips up. Tilt your left hip slightly down. Lower the hips. Move around and press back up. Tilt the right hip, lower and scoop up and press up. So we're making a figure eight or an infinity sign with our hips, with our pelvis, right? So feel like you're drawing a circle as you lower that hip, scoop up and back around to the top. Really move the pelvis as much as you can. Right? Let it circle as you scoop up. Yeah. And really press up at the top. Scoop and press up. Lower down. Scoop, press up. Good. Last one. And then at the top, just press the hips up. Take an inhale and melt the spine all the way down as you exhale. Let your arms slide out from your shoulders. Open the knees apart. Your hips relax. And we'll take our right knee over to our left. Take your left arm over towards your right arm. Follow it over there. And open back out. Knees open, arms out. We'll take our left knee over to our right arm toward our left as we reach, coming into a double twist. And open everything back out. And then take your right leg over to your left and straighten it on top of your left leg, reaching your right shoulder into the ground. And bend and lift that knee and open. Left leg over to right and extend that left leg as you reach your left shoulder into the ground. Good stretch through the side. And bend and Bring that knee back. Good. And then with our knees open, we're just going to press our hips up a little bit off the ground. Just float them up. And float them back down. Relax the hips. And go ahead and lift your knees. Come around onto your side so that you can get your bolster. So whatever you're using, if you're using a pillow or holding a blanket, might have a bolster. I'm going to use 2 pillows, so I got a nice high one today. And we're going to be lying back over our bolster. So make sure the hips are all the way on the ground. Clasp the hands behind the head. Right, so we want to make sure the hips are all the way down there, right? And then lay back over your bolster. Good. Just let your chest get a little stretch here. Right? Opening the chest, bending the spine in this direction. Good. And then we're going to inhale. As we exhale, we're going to draw our rib cage toward our pelvis to lift up. And then inhale to arch back. And exhale to lift up, supporting our head with our hands. Inhale back. And exhale up and turn to the left and back over our bolster. From center and lift up and turn to the right and arch back. And come up the center and turn to the left and arch back and around the center and come up. So just going in this, again, it's a figure 8 sort of movement, right? Come up and turn for our shoulders and back and press up, turn and back. Good, and press up. When you come up on this one, just reverse by going back over your bolster and then turning to the right, coming up and center and back and turn to the left and up and center. So we reverse the movement. Good. And breathe. It'll be nice and smooth and flowing. And then next time you go back over your bolster, we're going to come up the center, just come straight up the center and lift one knee, lift your other knee, grab hold of your legs, hug them in, curl into a ball, stretch the legs in. And then we're going to clasp our hands behind our head. We're going to inhale, just leave your knees there. Inhale, arching back. And then on our exhale, we're going to curl up and try to bring our knees closer to our head closer to our knees. And then inhale back. And exhale up. Curl, lift the knees, kind of bringing your hips a little bit up, or as if you could lift them up. They might not. Inhale back. And exhale up. And one more time. Reach back. And curl up. And go ahead and put your feet down. Grab hold of your legs to bring yourself up and move your bolster out of the way. Then we're going to come onto our back on the mat and draw your knees into your chest. Hold onto your knees with your hands, one hand on each knee, and you're just going to pull your knees towards you, open them apart, and take them away and circle. Or in and up and out and down. Relax your legs. Just circle opposite directions. And then reverse your circles. Relaxing that leg in the hip socket. And then when our legs come together, just stay there and clasp your hands behind your head. Good. Inhale, exhale, press the head and shoulders up. And then we're going to move our legs the same way. We're going to bring the knees up towards us, open them, circle them away and around and in. Same thing as if your hands were on your knees, right? Stir the legs. And then reverse, other way, away from you and out, in and together and away from you and out, up and together. Yeah. When your knees come towards you, relax your head down for a moment. Good. Inhale, exhale, press the head and shoulders up. We're going to keep our legs together and we're going to draw a horizontal figure 8. So you're going to take your legs down over to the left, circle them back up and down the center, over to the right and back up, right? So as if your legs were one leg, you're just drawing a figure 8 with your legs, an infinity symbol with your one leg. So you're going to rock off the hip and then come back and then rock off the hip. So your hips are going to be twisting side to side. Your torso is holding still. And then we're going to reverse our figure 8 or infinity symbol. So take it the other direction. Now, you might find that one direction is harder. That's what I notice sometimes. And that's always interesting to notice, right? You have a little harder time going in one direction. All right, when you come to center, relax your head and shoulders down. Go ahead and release your head and put your feet on the mat. Good. And hips down. And then just putting our arms down with our hands pointing up, fingers pointing up, or wrists, if you want to make a fist. Inhale, exhale, peel off the mat. Good. And let your weight shift to whatever leg wants to come first. And that leg's going to lift up and extend to the ceiling. Okay. And you're going to lower the hips as you inhale and press up on your exhale. And lower down. Take a rest and press back up. One more time. Lower down and press back up and stay here. And guess what? We're going to take our leg and we're going to draw that infinity symbol on the ceiling, right? So horizontal to start with, whatever size it wants to be, and then reverse. We're not going to do too long because it's hard. Do a few times. Good. And then we're going to take it vertical. So take it down and around and back up and down and around. And your vertical one might be able to be a little bigger, right? And then at the center, reverse your symbol. Go the other direction. All right. And then when you come center, go ahead and lower your hips down. Grab hold behind your thigh. Your leg a stretch. If you want, you can straighten your other leg. We're going to stretch this leg here. Yeah, you want to do some Pilates? You can move your foot, of course, flex and point, circle your ankle. Whatever feels good to give this leg a stretch. And then we'll bring our arms out from our shoulders. Take your leg across, reaching your foot toward that opposite hand. And lift back up. Open the leg out, reaching for the same side hand. And lift up. And again, take it across, really reach across for that hand. Good stretch in the side of the hip. Leg and lift up and open out. And lift up. Good. Hug your knee. Just grab hold of your shin or underneath your knee. Give it a stretch. Hug it in, move it around. And then we'll put our foot down, bring both feet back under us. And you might want to put your arms like this again. Inhale, exhale, peel off the mat. And now for our other leg. So bring the other leg up. Good. Inhale, articulate down. Exhale, articulate back up. Good. Inhale, down. Taking a rest. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. And we're going to stay here. We're going to draw that horizontal infinity sign on the ceiling. And the other direction. If you make sure you change, you might want to change direction when you're in the center of the symbol. And then we'll go for the horizontal one. I mean, the vertical one, sorry. And go down and around and up and around and down and up. See how big you can make it. And then at the center, reverse direction. Good. And then when you come to the center, go ahead and lower the hips down. Grab hold behind your leg. You want extend your other leg out. Give this leg a stretch. Move the foot, right? Articulate the foot. Circle the ankle. And then we'll take our arms out from our shoulders, bringing our leg across, reaching for the opposite hand. Anchor the shoulder. And lift up, opening that leg out as we reach for our same side hand. And lift up and across one more time. Really stretch for that hand. And lift and open. And lift up. Good. And then go ahead and just hug your knee, give it a stretch. In, walk around, and bring your other leg in. Good. And we're going to bring our legs up, legs together, arms out from our shoulders. Take your legs over to one side as you inhale and exhale back to the top. Take them over to the other side and exhale back. Keep them together. Good. Side to side. And when you come to the center, straighten your legs, keep them together, and guess what? We are going to draw another infinity symbol. So lower the legs, circle them over to the left, lift them up and around to center. Lower, take them over to the right, circle around to center. Right? So just nice horizontal oriented infinity sign. And then we can reverse at the center, go the other direction and around, up, around. And you can move your arms. They don't have to be out from your shoulders. If you want to bring them down farther or put them anywhere you need them. And then when you come to center, take a little break, hug your knees for a moment, and we're just going to do something maybe a little bit more challenging. So bring the legs up again with your legs apart. And now we're going to do maybe your arms by your side somewhere. And now we're going to make separate figure eights with our legs, right? So each one is doing its own figure eight or infinity. So start by taking your legs apart and down and in, back up, and then open out and up and in and down and open. So they're going in opposite circles, and you're making separate ones. Now this is challenging, so just notice if one way is easier for you, or just kind of try to get into the groove of it and let your body just do it, right? And we're going up and down. And then reversing, going vertical with these, right? Doesn't make sense to go horizontal. So we're making vertical figure eights with our legs. Oh, it's fun. Okay. And when you come to center and you finish it, go ahead and hug your knees. And put your feet on the ground. Stretch your body out, reaching through your arms and legs, stretching through one side and the other. Big stretch. Reach. Good. And of course, feet are flexed as we stretch. And then open the legs a little bit, arms out in a wide V. Take one arm over to the other, stretch across for that hand, reach for that opposite hand. And then coming onto our back, and we'll take a stretch the other direction. And coming back onto our back, go ahead and bring your feet onto the mat, sweep the arms down and curl up, grab hold of your legs, or reach for your feet to come up to sitting. And extending our legs out in front, lift the sits bones, and just fold forward over your legs here. Stretch. And then come up and bring your feet together with your knees in a loose bend. So we make that diamond. And just stretch forward here, relaxing over the legs. And come up. And just turning your chest, your torso to one leg. Keep your hips in the same position, facing forward. Come forward over that leg. Toward that leg, head toward knee. And press back up to center and turn toward the other leg. Again, not the hips, just the torso, a little twist forward. And press back up. And you can either keep your legs this way or open them into a little straddle, as bent as they need to be as we lift our arms up. So nice, strong, tall spine, hinge forward, keeping our head lifted, keeping our arms lifted, reaching out. Maybe you can get your legs, if your legs are straight, a little bit more into the ground. And then relaxing as we stack our spine, releasing the arms, and coming back up and lift the arms. Take a little rotation to the left. Don't let the hips move. Hinge forward toward that leg and lift, reach. So we're using our back muscles here. And then let everything relax and stack back up. Arms relax, coming back to center, lift up and take a little rotation to the right and hinge. reaching, lifting, and let your spine relax and stack back up. And one more time to the center, lift up, hinge forward, reaching, lifting, and relax everything and stack up. All right, and then we're going to bring our legs in a bend together like that, and keep your legs together. Reach your arms. Actually, start by holding on underneath your legs. Let's warm up for taking an inhale. We're going to lift our chest, lift our sternum, and then let our back arch. And then as we exhale, we're going to curl the tailbone and round back until our arms are straight. And then pull ourselves up. So think of your spine like a wave, right? And then you're going to lift. And then you're going to kind of reach forward, curl the tailbone under and round back. And then pull yourself up and stretch forward and up. We want to try to get some real movement in our spine as much as possible, right? So going back about halfway or so, up. Yeah, should feel good in your spine. Back last time. And lift up. And then reach your arms forward. Inhale. Exhale, round back just about to your sacrum. It's easier if your legs are together. Take your arms over to the left. You're going to scoop down, lift up, come back to center, take them to the right, scoop down, lift up, come back to center, take them to the left, and make that infinity symbol. Now let your body go up and down a little bit with the movement. You don't have to hold yourself steady, right? You can kind of let yourself move a little bit. Your torso, your legs are nice and solid. Good. Back and coming up. Back and coming up. And breathe. When you come to center, reach for your legs and pull yourself up. Inhale. Exhale, round back again. And now we're going to go the other direction by reaching our arms over to the right, lifting up, and then scooping down and under. So this might feel awkward to you, to the left and down. So we're going up to down, starting at the right and going left. So making it in the opposite direction. All right. And again, let your body move with it. And breathe. When we move our arms like this, we really have to use, moving our body, we really have to use a lot of muscles, right? A lot of core muscles to do this. A lot going on. And breathe. And then when you come to center, you can go ahead and grab your legs and lift up. All right. My mat's going away here. Okay, so take your block that we were told to bring. And we're going to come onto our back, press the hips up, and place your block underneath your sacrum. Center it there. Stretch one leg out, whichever one wants to go first, and bring your other knee up and just hold on to it with your hand. And just relax for a moment for that nice stretch. Good. And so what we're going to do for movement is we're going to draw our rib cage gently toward the mat as we inhale. And then we're going to let our leg float up on our exhale. So kind of just float that leg up, and the movement's coming from our trunk. And then let it float down as you relax. Good. So inhale, gently pull the rib cage down. Exhale, float the leg up. Just floats up a little bit, right? Because you're not trying to do the movement with your leg. We're doing it, it's coming from our trunk, right? So pull down and float up and lower down and relax. One more time, pull the rib cage down, float that leg up and hold it there. and draw a little horizontal infinity symbol with your leg. Okay. Just kind of moving it. Keep your ribs pulling down toward the mat. And you'll find what you're using is your whole trunk hip flexor connection, right? Is what we're using. Now reverse your infinity symbol. And then you can just stop and let your leg float down and relax. And you might want to take that arm over your head too and kind of get a little better stretch there. Hello, kitty. All right, and then we're going to switch sides. So go ahead and draw that leg in to put your foot on the mat. Other leg is going to stretch out. Hold on to this knee. Let your leg relax. And then we're going to inhale to pull our rib cage toward the mat and let this leg float up on the exhale. Notice if it feels different than your other leg. And then float down as you release. Inhale, pull the ribs down. Exhale, float that leg up. And lower back down. Relax. Inhale, pull the ribs down. Exhale, float the leg up. And draw a little horizontal infinity symbol with this leg. And notice if your legs feel different. If this experience is different than the other one. And then reverse your little figure eight, sideways figure eight. And then let your leg float down and relax. Maybe your arm stretch over your head if you want. And then we'll put both feet back on the ground with our knees bent. Press the hips up. Remove your block. And articulate your spine down one bone at a time. Reach your arms over your head, stretch your legs long, grab hold of your hands, legs together, roll your whole body onto your side in a nice straight line. You're going to lift that top arm, really get nice and straight here with your legs together. And guess what? We're going to draw an infinity sign with our arm as big as we can, trying to hold our body in a nice straight line. So take that circle around and let yourself kind of go off balance and on balance, right? So you can move, really challenge our little stabilizing muscles. Good. And then reverse it. Good. Really stay nice and straight like a board. So it's challenging our balance. Arms straight. All right. And then go ahead and leave that arm up. Good. Inhale. As you exhale, float your legs up, press your head up a little bit. Now, we're going to try to relax our top leg. Good. And then inhale, float back down. Try to relax your top leg and lift your top leg with your bottom leg. Okay, so you basically think of lifting your bottom leg to lift your legs up. And then float back down. That makes sense, right? So the bottom leg is working and the top leg is trying to relax. Right, so keep going, lift it up. And lower back down. And lift it up. With that top leg, let it relax. And lower back down. So you should really feel your inner leg muscles of your bottom leg. Okay, bend your knees a little bit. Bring this top hand on the ground. And we're going to extend that top leg and float it up. Float it down and let it bend. And extend and float up, down, and bend. Extend and float up, down, and bend. and extend and float up and stay there. And you're going to draw a horizontal infinity sign with your leg. So again, just floating that leg in the air. So it's really coming from the trunk more than the leg. Now I'm having a difficult time with mine. I don't now go the other direction. Try that way. For some reason, this leg isn't wanting to do it. Whew. Just notice if one way is different than the other or harder. It's a brain challenge, really. All right, and then you can stop and float the leg down, let it bend, and press yourself up to your elbow. And then we're going to lift our ribs, lift our arm, lift our hips, extend that leg and arch over, maybe touch the ground, maybe not, and lift up and lower back down. And again, lift the ribs, lift the arm, lift the hips, and extend and reach. And lift up and lower the hips down. And you're going to take this top arm behind you, lift, look up toward the ceiling, and then bring it and thread it through your bottom arm. Stretch. And bring your arm back in, press up to sitting, and we're going to just come around to our other side. So coming onto our back first, roll onto your back, arms and legs together, and roll your body onto this side so that you can be nice and straight. Nice straight line, this arm up, great. And then keep those legs together and make a big infinity symbol with this arm in whatever direction it's from your head to your feet, that orientation, right? Obviously, it's along your body because otherwise it'd be too hard. And challenging ourselves to really let our body come off balance and on balance. And then reverse your symbol. Good. And then we'll hold our arm there. Good. Glue legs together. Inhale. As we exhale, we're pressing our bottom leg into our top leg to float the legs up. Float the head off the arm. So really using the bottom leg more than the top leg, right? Inhale, lower down. And then exhale, press that bottom leg into the top leg, lifting the legs up. And lower back down. Nice deep breath and exhale up. And lower back down. And you can let this hand come onto the ground. Let your knees bend a bit. Extend that top leg, float it up and down and bend. So kind of like a tentacle, right? Just coming out from our torso. Extend and float and lower and bend. Extend and float and lower and bend. Extend and float up there, draw a sideways infinity symbol with your leg. Again, try not to use your legs so much. Think of using the trunk, right? These muscles here are initiating the movement. And then reversing our infinity symbol. And even if you're not doing it exactly that way, it doesn't matter, just move your leg. I get lost sometimes because I'm talking. Okay, and then stop and let your leg float down and your knee bend and relax. Press yourself up to the elbow, under the shoulder, pressing our elbow to the ground, lifting our ribs, arms, hips, extending the leg, stretch, reach, and then lift up and lower down. Again, lift the ribs, arms, arm, hip, and stretch. And lift up, lowering the hips down. And then we're going to open to the back, take that arm behind you, look up, and then bring it forward and thread through. Up. And we're going to come all the way up to our all fours. So bringing your hands and knees onto the mat. Just start by doing a little cat-cow movement. Curl the tailbone, rounding the back, press back, and lift up and arch. And rounding, press back, press hips back a bit, lift up, and arch, moving the spine. Good. And then we'll bring ourselves to neutral. And you're going to let your body weight shift forward and back. So you go forward, past your hands, back, but without arching or rounding. Just your whole body is moving in one piece. And back. And then come center, and now move it side to side. So shift left to right. And then come center, and then we're going to make a figure 8 or an infinity symbol by going to the right and up past our hands, over to the left and around, back to the right, over to the left and around, over to the right, up, back. Move your whole body in this figure 8 shape. And then when you come center, reverse. So you go back to the left, over to the right, around, up to the left, and forward and right, right? So go the other direction. And then when you come centered, go ahead and stay there. And for a little challenge, just try it. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and now make a figure 8 with your body. Now it's going to be smaller, but see if you can just kind of move around, up and back and around for as long as you can. It might not be very long. And then reverse. So you're moving your whole body with your knees off the ground. So a lot of work, right? See if you can try it a little bit. Come in and out of it if you want. All right, and then go ahead and relax your knees down and stretch back to your heels. We're going to come onto our belly. The elbows underneath the shoulders to start with. And let's bring our hands next to our shoulders, elbows in towards our waist. Draw the shoulders down so we're looking down. And we're going to let our forehead drop to the mat. Relax your head. Press yourself up. So your head is dangling here. And then lift your head. And I'll articulate back down, right? So we're going to make like a circle with our upper spine. Relax your head, press up, and then lift, and come back down. Feel like you're circling your shoulders and your head, and press up, lift, and lower down. Relaxing the head, press up, and lift, and lower down. Doesn't that feel good? Okay, when you come down, you can stay there. And we're going to press ourselves up a little bit. Lift your arms. We're going to reach over our head, turn our palms away from us, sweep back, lift up, slide your hands alongside you to come back overhead. So this is a breaststroke, right? So we're going to sweep our arms out and down, and then draw the hands alongside us to come back up. We lower down a little bit, we sweep and lift up, and lower down as we reach overhead, and then lift up a little bit, right? And just keep doing a breaststroke as if you were swimming through water. And breathe, lower down, and sweep, reach, lift when you reach back. Next time you bring your arms over your head, let them relax down onto the ground. Let your body relax. And we're going to make our body into a big X. So the arms are kind of wide apart, legs apart. Lift your right leg up. Take it across your left leg and stretch your right arm and right leg away from each other. And then bring that leg back up and down. Lift your left leg, take it across, stretch it away from your left arm and bring it back and go side to side. So right legs circles back, stretch, lift it up, bring your left leg up and around, stretch it away from your left arm and bring it back. Good. And one more. Stretch it away. Good. And bring it back. And then draw your elbows under you so you can press up onto the knees. Stretch back to the heels. And if your knees are together, open them apart and stretch back. Good. And then whenever you want to come up, just come up from there. Well, hopefully you found that interesting, if not fun. Maybe a little bit challenging for the brain. Thanks for coming, everybody. That was my idea, was make it a little challenging for the brain.